Hey Steeple kids! Hey parents, I hope you guys are doing really well. Hey, we have done 4 weeks of our series on WWJD, What Would Jesus Do? And I hope you've really enjoyed Beatrice and Dimitri sharing with us their stories as well as stories from Jesus in the Bible in the past 4 weeks. Well, they've been working really hard in the last few weeks, and so we are going to give them a bit of a break this week. What we will do this week instead is that we are going to look back at the 4 weeks that we've learned, as well as some of the stories in the Bible about Jesus that we have missed along the way to prepare ourselves to what Beatrice and Dimitri are going to share with us next week. So, without further ado, let's see what we have.
So Jesus' story started when he was born as a baby. We often talked about Jesus' birth during Christmas. Do you remember Christmas? Well, that's when we celebrate the birth of Jesus as a baby. Even though Jesus was the Son of God, he came to earth as a baby, just like us. Well, just like you and I, Jesus grew up as a little child. His dad was a carpenter who made some really cool things for work. Jesus probably learned how to use tools like hammers and chisels from his dad. But Jesus also spent a lot of time in the temple, praying and learning about God. And then the Bible tells us that when he grew up, he started to follow the plan that God has for his life. The first thing that he did was to go to his cousin John to get baptized. Jesus showed that he was humble when he allowed John to baptize him in the water as a sign of choosing to follow God. Then after that, he was led out into the desert, where Satan came and asked him to do things that God would not want him to do, like turning the stones into bread. But Jesus said no to Satan and all the bad things he asked him to do. He showed us that we can say no to doing the wrong thing. Then Jesus goes around telling people about how amazing God is and what they have to do to follow him. Whenever he came across someone who was sick, he always helped them and took care of them. Remember Peter's mother-in-law? Jesus healed her because that was a good thing to do. Once in a while, Jesus would gather his followers and start to teach them about God. One of the things he said was that we don't need to worry because God loves us. Just like the way God looks after the birds and the flowers, he will look after us, so we don't need to worry. And he told a lot more stories like that.
Well, there you go. See, Jesus has already done a lot of amazing things in the Bible thus far, and there's a lot more of that story to go. Beatrice and Dimitri will be back with us next week to share with us more of what's going on in their lives, as well as some stories about Jesus again. Well, for the rest of this week, we are going to have a bit of a quiz. In a moment, some of the pictures from what we talked about today will show up on the screen. See if you can spot what they are about, and tell your parents or your siblings around you what the story is according to the picture that's going to come up on the screens. I hope you guys have fun doing that, and let's look forward to what Beatrice and Dimitri have for us next week. Bye!